Hi, my name is Katie Elliott, and I am a gentle yoga teacher here at the YMCA in Ashland. And I'm very pleased to just go through some of the principles and some of the poses, also referred to as asana, that are typical with gentle yoga and just give you a sense of how it works. To start off, we always start with planting our feet very gently yet firmly connected to the earth. We find our balance on all three corners of the foot. There are two balance points in the front of the foot, and then the heel is the third. So we take a moment as a starting point just to kind of settle in to our feet. In yoga, we talk about rooting down before we rise up. So we always start with our connection to the earth. Good. So just taking a moment and just feeling the connection of your feet to the mat. We'll also talk about our mat a little bit. As you see, I have mine set up this way. This will be what I refer to as the top of the mat, where my head would go. If we're turned this way, my feet would go to what we call the bottom of the mat. But for now, we're just starting kind of at the center of the mat. And again, getting connected to the earth, connected to our balance. Gentle yoga is meant to be a process where we work with our body. We never work against the body, always with. And the asanas, the poses that we will explore today, are always a suggestion. Your body is the authority. So please tune in and listen to your body. Always work within the comfortable range of movement that your body already has. So much exercise is about kind of pushing ourselves and beating ourselves up. We're not doing that in yoga, or certainly not in gentle yoga. We're working within the range of movement and the comfort and the abilities that our bodies already have today at this moment. So please keep that in mind as we move through. If there's a pose or an asana that doesn't feel right, you can always just skip it and just kind of rest until we go to the next one. Or you may try to modify it, and I will talk through some modifications for poses as we go along. All right, so let's just begin again with kind of finding the balance in the feet and gently bending the knees. We want to have soft knees at all times. We want to avoid locking up our knees. So keep the knees soft, engaging the muscles in the legs, the quadriceps particularly. Now we're going to do a gentle tilt of the pelvis. So we're kind of hugging the low belly and the mid belly in a little bit toward the spine, just kind of creating that stability from the bottom up. Good. And as we move up, we're going to kind of just open up the chest a little bit. You may want to just gently squeeze the shoulder blades together. You notice a nice exhalation came with that one. So here, just kind of finding your breath a little bit and just feeling some opening through the heart center. Good. And another thing with gentle yoga is that we are going to work with the breath. So we're going to kind of coordinate our movements with the inhalation or the exhalation, just doing as best you can with that, and I'll cue you as we move along. So let's start with just some gentle shoulder rolls, kind of up and back and down. And now we'll coordinate it with the breath. So we'll inhale as we come up. And exhale as we come down. Good. Just continue this movement very slowly, moving with the breath. Inhale as we rise up. And exhale. We release the shoulders down. Good. And now we'll reverse the direction. Again, inhaling as we come up. Exhaling as we come down. Just a few slow rotations. Moving at your own pace. Feeling the upper body kind of warming and loosening. And then we'll rest. And we'll just pause for a moment. Perhaps close the eyes for a moment and tune in within the body. Begin to notice the breath. Just feeling the gentle rise and fall of the breath. Letting go of any thoughts or concerns or plans that you may be thinking about. Setting those things aside for the moment. Also setting aside any emotions or feelings that you may have come in with today. and instead focusing on the present moment just for this time of our yoga practice. Beautiful. We'll open the eyes. And again, kind of recentering with the balance, bending the knees a little bit. We're going to turn the feet out to about a 45-degree angle and widen the stance on the mat. And we're just going to do some nice breathing. Just inhale, rise up, gaze rises up to look at the top of the hands. Turning the backs of the hands together, we're going to exhale, whoosh, down through, exhaling through the mouth. And inhale, come back up. Turning the hands, exhaling, back down. Good. This is just a nice way to invite in some fresh prana, fresh life energy, all through the body, kind of warming and energizing at the same time. Good. Last one. Excellent. All right. And now we're going to stay down here for a moment. This is a strengthening move, so we want to make sure that we're feeling really rooted here through the thighs. Nice. You can raise the arms up. You can lift the arms overhead. You can put your arms this way, whatever feels comfortable. Good. And then bring the hands down behind the back and the legs up. Nice. We'll walk the legs back into the center, gently kind of shaking them out a little bit, maybe even shaking the arms a little. Nice. And we're going to come down on the mat into a seated position. So find what's called a comfortable seat, and that may be cross-legged, it may be with your feet out in front of you, it may be with the feet slightly open. Depending on what's available for your body, just find what we can call a comfortable seat. All right. And now, just as we rooted our feet down into the earth and found our balance there, we're going to do the same thing with our sits bones and just kind of get our balance, get connected, rooting down into the earth. Beautiful. And we'll do a couple of breaths here to start. So we're going to breathe up through the spine with the inhale and imagine lifting all the way up through the crown of the head on the inhale. Good. And then exhale. Feeling everything settle down, releasing and relaxing. One more time. Inhale, all the way up through the spine, gentle lift through the crown of the head, and exhale, releasing. Beautiful. Now we're going to extend the right leg out at this angle. Again, taking time, depending on your flexibility and what's available, we're going to always make adjustments. If this stretching the leg flat on the floor is a little too much, then what we can do is bend the knee slightly, adjust the opposite foot. So take a moment to just find what's most comfortable with the extending of the right leg. Toes will point up toward the sky. Beautiful. Now what we're going to do on the inhale is we're going to turn and face those right toes. And on the exhale, we're going to walk our hands forward and just come into whatever level of fold is available to us, working within the comfortable edge of your flexibility, not pushing, but we do want to extend ourselves. We want to give ourselves a little nudge. Good. And when we find that place, just lower the head. You might want to rest your hands around your foot, ankle, leg, wherever your hands may be, and just fold forward, bringing the forehead down toward the knee. Feel the opening through the back of the body. This is a nice opener for the back, for the spine. Feeling the additional space coming in between each vertebrae. Feeling the lengthening, allowing the breath to be flowing gently, natural. Good. And just hang here for a moment. Nice. Now using the hands, we're going to walk ourselves back up to the seated position very, very slowly, coming up one vertebrae at a time. Head comes up last, turning back toward the front, bringing that right leg back in, pausing in our center balanced moment for a bit, even maybe kind of rocking side to side, sort of finding that balancing point. Beautiful. And now we're going to extend the left leg in the same way. Again, knee can be bent, Leg could be flat on the floor if that's available. Finding what's available for you. Turning on the inhalation toward the left foot, looking at the left toes. And as we exhale, we're going to walk forward, finding our comfortable extension, and then folding forward from there, head coming down toward the shin or toward the knee. Beautiful. And just take 2 or 3 breaths here, feeling that extra lengthening through the spine, feeling extra space between the vertebrae, allowing your head to hang heavy. Feel some lengthening in the back of your neck. Nice. And now using your hands, we're going to walk back up, coming up slowly, 1 vertebra at a time, turning back toward the center, coming back to our comfortable seat. Nice. All right, next we're going to extend the legs out in front of us. Again, toes facing up toward the sky. And we're going to bend the left knee. Now again, finding your comfortable range. I'm pretty flexible, so I can bring my knee in pretty close to the chest. Your knee bend may be out here. It doesn't make any difference. The point is to find what's available in your body and to work with that. Okay, so we're going to wrap both hands around the knee, around the left knee, and we're going to just pull in gently a little bit toward that knee, kind of straightening up the spine. Beautiful. And on the next inhalation, we're going to wrap around and we're going to reach behind our mat and come into a gentle twist. As we exhale, we twist around a little bit. Nice. Hold here. Take another inhalation up through the spine, tall spine, and on the exhalation, perhaps deepen the twist a bit. Looking around behind you. One more time. Inhale, tall spine. And exhale. Final expression of this twist. Beautiful. Now gently just roll out of that. We're going to put both legs out in front of us again. Maybe kind of wobbling the legs a little on the floor, maybe patting the thighs, just letting our feet be loose before we switch to the other side. All right, so we're going to bend that right knee. Again, finding the position that our body will cooperate with and sort of hugging that knee in toward the chest to straighten up the spine. Beautiful. We're going to inhale and wrap around and exhale, coming into our twist on the opposite side. Inhale, tall spine. Exhale, perhaps deepening the twist just a bit. Inhale, tall spine. Exhale, little deepening. Beautiful, and release. We'll come out of that. Nice. Now we're going to bring the head toward the top of the mat, come into a tabletop position. This is where we're in all fours. And here we're going to check our alignment. We're going to have our knees and hips lined up and our shoulders and our wrists lined up. For those of us who have aging knees, it can be really helpful to put a blanket or even a pillow under the knees. I'm not going to do that today for the sake of time, but please, if that's something that makes this easier for you, it's a good idea. We're going to just do some simple cat-cow. So if we think about a cat stretching, it sort of looks like this. The chin comes down toward the head, tucks in, and then the cow is where we turn our hips up toward the sky, kind of sway down through the chest. Good. And then we reverse this to the cat and back through the cow. This is a good spinal rotation. Now we'll coordinate it with the breath. So for me, I like to inhale as I come up to the cat and exhale as I come down through the cow. You could do this in the opposite way. Find what's comfortable. Good. So this is a cat-cow rotation. Really good for the spine. Beautiful. Now we're going to widen our knees out a little bit to the edge of the mat, and we're going to push back into an extended child's pose. This is a big stretch for the body. So again, just come back as far as your body will comfortably allow. If possible, you can reach your forehead down to the mat and rest. If not, just try to allow your neck to be comfortable. Tops of the feet kind of connected to the earth. Beautiful. And then we'll come back up. All right, we're going to do just one or two more quick asanas. This is a short class today, short demonstration. So we're going to come around with our feet at the bottom of the mat, planted, just resting. Really, our connection to the earth is through the hips here. Hands can come onto the knees. We're going to take a nice inhale, and then as we exhale, we're going to just come back and extend both hands out a little bit. This is a modified boat pose. Then we're going to come back up as we inhale. And again, exhale. Good. Inhale coming up. And exhale coming back. Now, if you really have a lot of strength and balance, you can do a full boat pose, which is this. You can lift the legs. But I'm going to suggest for gentle yoga that most of us are going to be here. Beautiful. All right. So we're going to wrap this up with just coming back up onto our feet, gently, slowly, taking all the time you need. Good. And we're going to just come back and for closing, just do some more sun breaths, just very simple sun breaths. So again, finding our balance, rooting down, feeling our balance, feeling the connection to the earth, engaging the legs, engaging the low belly. Beautiful. We're going to breathe and come up. For a nice inhalation, turning the backs of the hands together. Exhale. Good. One more time. Inhale, turning the backs of the hands together. Exhale. Good. And this will be our last one. We'll come up and inhale, holding the hands together, bringing both hands down to heart center, and we'll close for today with a namaste. Thank you for joining me.